TIFU by not checking who was in the group chat. I received an unhappy email from a client today. My boss texted some information regarding this email to what I believe to be a group chat, consisting of him, myself and a coworker. I answered in the group chat, "I will respond to client's rant email." The chat was indeed my boss, myself and said client. It didn't take more than a minute before my boss called to inform me the client was in the group. Something that I should have checked but didn't because we have never texted information to a client before, only email. Client eventually responded with emphasis that I did not need to respond to the rant email. Not sure how offensive calling the inciting email a rant is. What sucks is that the project is very long and I will be seeing said client daily for the foreseeable future. TLDR, didn't see who was included in a group chat and told a client their email was a rant. Oof. I want to leave this reply for you so that you can feel better. I had a representative call me once about a customer rant. So I said, "Let's call the client together and get more information." She did the dialing and we spoke briefly with the client. Then she hung up or disconnected the customer. Or so I thought. It turned out, the representative did not properly release the call with the client. They sat and listened to the two of us talking about the rant and then talking about the person themselves. It was awful. The client took the experience upwards in the food chain and both of us thought we'd be out of jobs. Fortunately, they just reassigned us to different clients. But it taught me a super important lesson. One day, you'll be able to see the lesson in your experience too. I promise it will get better eventually. Chin up. Oof. Yup. Better put on your groveling boots, my dude. People are giving awesome suggestions for autocorrect excuses. But I don't think the client will buy any of them. If this comes up, I'd just be honest, much better to be thought of as the rant person who admitted a moment of frustration, weakness than as someone who scrambles to dodge blame. On the consolation front, others might disagree, but everyone I know who has ever served in any customer service capacity has either made a similar mistake or been terrified of making it. This is why a lot of CRM note functionality often specifies very clearly that the note won't be visible by the customer. They know that even a service representative immersed in, say, HubSpot, who knows that the customer has absolutely no way of seeing what's in there, worries about this. Of course, making a mistake is very different from being afraid of making it. But I think a reasonable client would understand. Separately, does your boss often create group chats with the client included? If I were him, this would be a learning opportunity for me too, at least to give you a heads up in a DM first. I was doing a call with a storage vendor we do a fair amount of business with to feel out the options for upgrading one of our SANs. One of the sales team shared their screen to show us some slides. However, in their team chat another of the team members started talking trash about how small we were and how they should just throw us their entry-level product and move on. And every single message was popping up on the guy's shared screen. Things did not go well for that sales team. Recent autocorrected to rant? Voice to text? Good luck. Oofed. That's rough. But also could have been a lot worse. Could you not have unsent the message before it was read? Here's the thing. If it was a rant, then the person who wrote it knows that. Whether or not they wish to admit it. This would be a whole different story if you said something like, "I'll respond to that asshole's email," or someone along that line. But just calling it a rant isn't really that offensive and presumably is the truth. Mainly my point is, don't sweat it and forget it. I once called a client a mystical being because she had been eluding me for months before I got a hold of her. She first started crying hysterically and then screamed at me and said I was a mean teenage boy and asked she should keep working with us. She ended up getting reassigned after my boss talked her off the ledge. That call recording still circulates our company Slack years later. Can't even think of an autocorrect for you to use tears of joy good luck. I genuinely don't believe it's an issue for the client to know that they are ranting. Perhaps it will discourage them from sending future communications in the same format. Calling it a rant is kind of rude, but not the sort of thing that should get you in hot water. Tell them you use a Vorkian keyboard and you meant to type last L and R. An S and N are right next to each other. This is truly a painful moment and I'm sorry that you had to endure it. As others have illustrated, it happens and then you learn from it so it doesn't happen again. In my case, I thought I was finishing an intimate conversation I was having by text with my girlfriend, but was actually texting a client. The client texted back, something, and good luck in love. I was mortified. If it looked like a rant to you, they know it was a rant. You just confirmed that the rant was received in the way it was intended to be. If I have a rant at a supplier, I damn well want them to understand. Just like I understand the dissatisfaction of a customer when it gets to the stage they have to rant at me to get the message across. Now you both need to get on with the important job of blaming the sales guy, then fixing the real problem. Nah, this is on your boss. Why would he put you in a group chat with a client? That's ridiculous. I once had two colleagues with the same first name. I'll use Shane. I once sent a chat message which said something negative about Shane to the wrong Shane, who would immediately have known I was saying bad things behind his back. The comment was born out of frustration and wasn't Shane's fault. Sadly, he was a good guy and a friend, but that and some other workplace fallout diminished the friendship. Depends on the client. Calling it a rant and then knowing may not be an issue at all to them. Heck, they probably know it's a bit of a rant, as long as you're addressing the issues they've raised. Unless they're very sensitive, then it could well be fine. Telephone the client you meant to say, I will respond to client's last email that you have dyslexia and that you are mortified. I myself have severe problems with typing or saying complete different words mid-sentence than anything I wanted to say or that makes sense.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.